Amazon FBA wholesale is on easy mode right now in 2025. If you've been trying to figure out how to get to your first 10K per month, this is the fastest and simplest way to get there in the next few months. We've sold over 35 million on Amazon over the past few years and even scaled past 1 million a month. And what we do is pretty different from what everyone else does out there to scale their Amazon business, and the results show. So in this video, I'm gonna show you why 2025 is the best time to jump into Amazon FBA. I'm gonna show you how to get started, from setting up your store to finding the best suppliers and brands to getting approved to actually start making that 10K per month goal. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is obviously have a business. Where a lot of people try to jump in the game and just be individual sellers. Well, the thing about businesses is they want to do business with business. So we got to start there, right? Get your business set up. Right. I remember when I first got started, I was reaching out to distributors, brands, and I was just like, hey, I'm Mark. Can I jump in the game with you? And they're like, no, you got to be a business. So first thing you want to do is get your LLC set up. The next thing you want to pretty much immediately do is get these two tools. Number one being a tool called SmartScout, right? SmartScout is pretty much a research tool, and it was created by this guy called Scott Needham. I remember when I first heard about Scott Needham. It was back in 2020. I used to drive my red Honda Accord Coupe from Brooklyn over to Long Island, New York at our warehouse. I would listen to this guy's podcast called The Smartest Seller. I would definitely check it out. And I couldn't believe it. This guy was talking about making $30 million per year reselling products on Amazon. And I'm like, that's a ton of money without taking any of the risk of being a brand owner. I couldn't believe my eyes, or my ears, I guess. I would drive an hour. I would punish myself by not listening to any music, no Future, no Drake, none of that stuff, right? Just listen to this podcast and I would learn a ton. This was before I could afford any mentorships or anything like that. And what he did back, I think it was 2022, 2023, is he created this tool called SmartScout, which they've developed so much, but it's meant to be this one-stop shop tool for product research. And they really have progressed tremendously. It's only about $29 a month, so it's really, really cost efficient compared to what we used to do in the past. Next thing you're gonna want is a tool called Keepa, which is a price history tool. We need this tool for now, but SmartScout might be replacing it soon. But this gives us price history, and this is so important because where a lot of sellers screw up is they only care about what something's selling for today. Look, if something's selling for $40 today, but 2 weeks ago it was $25, look, I need to make sure I'm still making money if it drops back down to 25. So Keepa allows us to make educated buying decisions. And if we don't have it, we're pretty much gambling, and that's not what we got into business for. So once you have SmartScout and Keepa, now we go into actual brand research. This is a cheat code right here. You're gonna see a tab called brands. Now, when you're on that brands tab, what you wanna do is go in there, and first you wanna do is pick a category. Now, don't overthink this. Any category works, but really, I like to personally be in replenishable products, meaning that what is going to have somebody come back next month, next year, and be a repeat customer? Because remember this, Amazon's growing. So what happens when you have repeat customers plus new consumers coming in? Your money grows, right? So I love replenishable products, but honestly, if you have a preference for anything, they all work. I would just highly recommend staying away from clothing, electronics if you're newer in the game, because it has a super high return rate. Same thing as clothing. People buy a bunch of different sizes and don't know their size and return the rest and keep like one. Doesn't really work. And jewelry. Those three categories have a super high return rate and don't sell really well on Amazon from our experience, but everything else sells. So just pick a category. Could be preference, could be what you have experience with. Doesn't really matter. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to filter out for having 3 or more Amazon Prime sellers. Those are called FBA, fulfilled by Amazon sellers. You want 3 or more. Why is that? Because what 3 or more signifies is that this brand is actually looking for and working with other resellers like us. So many people come in the game and they want to start selling brands that have 1 seller, 2 sellers. That means that the brand is either private label, like the brand owner's running it, or they're exclusive. They have an exclusive partner. So they're not looking for help right now. While you can still close those deals, why take the hardest path to success? 3 or more lets us know they're working with resellers. We're a reseller. We work with them, right? Super simple. The next thing you want to do is filter out for brands that do under $500,000 per month. You might be like, why? Why would I not go for Nike or Apple or, Dyson or one of these huge mega brands? Here's 2 reasons. 1, everyone is looking for those brands. I have this quote that I live by. You fish where everyone fishes, you're going to catch less fish, right? The next thing is that when we get into what we call something later called brand exclusivity, like having exclusive deals with these brands, do you think any of us can get an exclusive deal with Nike? Probably not. Do you even think that if we had to negotiate a 5% discount with them that we can get that approved? Probably not. These brands are too big. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough cloud reputation to work with them. So the smaller the brand, the better. Right? We personally look for brands that do up to 3 mil a month right now, but especially if you're just getting started, not a lot of experience, and on a smaller budget, 500K or less has proven to be a very safe number where you can get in contact with the decision maker, create discounts, and it's a lot easier because there aren't as many people selling these brands. So there's a lot of money to be made. And still, 500K a month is a lot of money, right? Let's not act like it's a little bit. Okay, cool. And the last filter we want to have is Amazon in stock rate. What that means is how often is Amazon in stock on these brands, right? I personally look for Amazon to be in stock less than 50% of the time. If you're just getting started, you want to only see them in stock no more than 30% of the time, right? The less, the better. Because when Amazon's selling on a listing, what happens? Well, they're gonna be able to drop the price whenever. They don't care about losing money, right? They do not care. They make too much money to care about losing money, right? They play with the price too much. Sometimes they're pretty much overstocked, which means that they're dragging up all of the sales, a large majority of the sales, because they have so much inventory, like months of inventory ahead. So we just want to avoid them when we first start. So when you have these 4 filters, right? You pick the category, you look for 3 or more sellers, brands that are doing under 500K per month, and Amazon in stock less than 30% of the time. Guess what? You have cut down that list of, at the time of this video, I think 448,000 different brands on Amazon, down to maybe 800, 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, depending on what category you're in. And those are all brands that you can get into business with if you follow these next steps. So what we do is we start injecting AI into this bad boy. Right. So what I do is that list from SmartScout, depending on what plan you are, you can either export that whole list or you can take a screenshot of each page and you can upload it into an LLM. So like ChatGPT, Manus, Claude, whatever. I prefer Manus these days, but ChatGPT is A-okay. So you export that list into there, take the screenshots, and you say, hey, ChatGPT, do me a favor, my brother. Let me know all of the websites and best contact emails for the decision makers of these brands, right? So ChatGPT is going to spend some time pulling up all the websites and getting you the decision makers for these brands. Now, the website's pretty easy for ChatGPT. The decision maker email is a little more difficult. Like, they're not going to get as many of these. So what is a decision maker email, first of all? Well, a lot of people kind of end up in a bad predicament or just not seeing as much success is when they reach out to brands, they're doing this. They're reaching out to support@Dyson.com. Right? Support at Mary Ruth, help at maryroof.com, blah, blah, blah. Like these low level emails where you're talking to probably a virtual assistant outside of the country or an AI chatbot that really does not care what you're saying. Like they don't care, right? You don't want to do that. When you're getting in contact with a brand, you want to get in contact with what you call the decision maker, the COO, the CEO, the CMO, the head of sales, the marketing director, whatever, right? Someone that can actually call the shots. So what we want to do is if ChatGPT can get it, great. If not, there's a suite of tools, and this is why I love AI right now. You could use one called hunter.io, which can pull the the contact emails for you. It's an extension, plugs right into your computer, and it will pull the emails for you so you know who to contact. Another tool that is AI-based and will literally just pull it without even plugging into websites, just right from their dashboard. One is called Apollo, and the other one is called BrandNav. I tried both of these. BrandNav is a little better for e-commerce brands, but all 3 of these methods work. You can use any of these 3. I know hunter.io has a free plan. I don't know if Apollo and BrandNav do right now. I can't remember. I know I pay for them. But any of these can pull all of these emails. Now, my favorite part about this is when you do this right and pulling these emails, especially if you're using Apollo or BrandNav, like we just did a campaign last week, email campaign. We were able to pull out 11,000 emails, 11,000 in about an hour. Right, that is work that used to take me like days and days and days and days. Now it's happening in an hour. And from here, like honestly, like in the next few days, we're actually releasing that whole workflow and tools that we've built out for our students. Like it's helped us open, I think, 28 accounts in the past month with this AI tool. But I'm pretty much telling you exactly kind of what we're building out and what you can do too. But scraping all these leads, getting their emails, and literally now we take them and we can put them into a tool called Instantly.ai. This is another AI tool that is meant for email campaigns. Now, these are all optionals, but I'm just being clear. This is the easiest path to success because let's just paint this out. You have 5,000, 10,000, 11,000 because there's that many leads coming from Apollo or BrandNav. You're getting them all in an hour. And then you're using another AI tool like Instantly to generate all of the email campaigns, right? So what Instantly does versus the old way was you can add them all into the same campaign. Meaning like we used to have a limit, right? When you have an email domain, you can only usually send out maybe 40 to 100 emails per day before they start saying, hey, you're a spammer, we're putting you in spam, right? What Instantly does is you get a bunch of different inboxes, right? I think it's $15 or something, bunch of different inboxes, and it splits up your emails between them to make sure you don't hit in spam. It warms up your email for like a week or two to make sure you don't end up in spam. And then you can also, because it's AI based, it can also have built-in like follow-ups for it. It can also have built-in like responses. It puts it on a dashboard to show you how many accounts you have open. It is so like streamlined that literally, like let's face for this campaign, we pulled out those 11,000 leads. We were able to put them all in, and then boom, every day is just sending out more opening accounts for us, opening deals. So when I'm at work, I don't work other than, whatever. When you're at work, when I'm on vacation, whatever, all of these things are automated, and pretty much every day you're getting new accounts open. This is so important because getting 10K on Amazon I don't think it's ever been easier. It's not that hard because with all these tools you have at your disposal, you're able to identify, using SmartScout and Keepa, the right brands, right, that you should be getting in contact with because they're allowing for third-party sellers. You're also then able to actually find out which products you want using a tool like SmartScout and Keepa to find out, okay, these are the products I want because these generate the highest monthly revenue. This is what I want. This is what I know I can spend on it. And this is how many units I can sell per month. So you pretty much know to a T what your profit is per unit, right? So you can, it's almost like reverse engineering what is going to get me to 10K per month. From there, you're using these tools like ChatGPT, like Hunter.io, like Apollo, like Instantly to pretty much AI your workflow, right? You're getting the websites, decision-making emails, and setting up AI campaigns. If you have 11,000 different people to reach out to get to 10K, if the brand does 100K per month, 200K per month, how many brands do you really need to get to 10K per month? 1, 2, and that's really all you need. And this is why I constantly think that 2025 is the best time to jump into the Amazon space, even better than what it was when we got started in 2020, because so many people are doing outdated methods. They are walking around stores, scanning products, trying to flip it for more on Amazon, giving themselves another job and creating a warehouse in their own house. Or they're going to launch private label brands, and they're not realizing that Amazon is no longer the marketing channel. It is the marketplace. This is where sales take place, but marketing is happening out in TikTok land, right? Or live shopping or whatnot, or meta ads or something like that. But it's not Amazon anymore. That's a rat race. So what's happening is, as you see more and more brands kind of catch on to this content-based marketing happening on TikTok and live shopping like whatnot and TikTok shop, their attention is going over here, but the marketplace is still over here. So this is when they need, especially these smaller brands, they need people like us to come in and say, hey, we will manage the marketplace for you. We will make sure you don't go out of stock. We will make sure your price is consistent when you have these repeat customers. We will kick those other bad actors out, and we will also help you strategize to increase your sales on this marketplace. That is a value pitch. This is how you get the deals done. When you do this method, I tell you, when you go to these brands, pitch value. I know in our program, like even right now, we're working on a whole sales module for things that we've seen work for us and allowed us to close over, what's 51 plus 28, 79 deals in the past 2 months, like 79 brand direct deals. This is the strategies that you need to implement in this business. This is why it's never, ever, ever been easier to hit 10K per month on Amazon. So this is why I say Amazon wholesale is on complete easy mode right now. These are the strategies that took us a few years to get to $1 million a month, but with all the AI tools you have available, if you're implementing them right, it literally should not take you more than a few months to get to 10K a month, and you should be able to blitz because you have so much opportunity to be able to scale to 6 or 7 figure months after. Look, I know sometimes business can be a little bit intimidating. Look, if you're looking for any help with this, you got 2 options. Number 1, there's gonna be a link below. From time to time, we do these workshops. Feel free to click it and then come to one of our next completely free workshops. We go in depth for hours, and I always have one guarantee when you show up: you're going to leave with the exact framework you need to scale your business. And we do not shut that workshop off until every single question is answered. So please feel free, if you're serious about this business, attend. But there's also some of you who are like, dude, I just want to work one-on-one and kind of get my business scaled up a lot quicker. There's an option for that too. There will be a link below if you want to book a call with our team to kind of understand more about how our mentorship program works and to see if it's a good fit for you, and vice versa, if you're a good fit to work with in our community. But regardless, if you're going to be working with us or not, attending the workshop or not, you watch this much in the video, which means you are serious about scaling your business. So you have one other thing to do. Hit the subscribe button. Check out the other videos on the channel. I'm telling you, we have so much in there. It's kind of crazy. We're releasing videos every week about what we are actively doing in our business, our student business, our client business, to actually scale this business to a few 7 figures a month, not just stop here. So please, if you're serious about changing your financial situation, actually doing this business, subscribe, watch those videos. I promise you, it is not a waste of your time, and you will be in a different financial situation if you follow what we're talking about there. All right, peace. Hope you enjoyed it.